Welcome to Perspectives. I'm your host, Rondrick Williamson. Now listen, I know many of you, like myself, when we were growing up, you wanted to be a superhero, you wanted to be like your favorite actor, or you wanted to grace the stage with your favorite singing group. I know me, I wanted to be like New Edition. Our guest today is no different from that. She's had an opportunity to grace millions of people with her ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Latrice Smith. Now, Latrice, to me, it seems that you've been singing most of your life. I know when the producers talked with you, they kind of came back and told me that you started at an early age. So tell us, how old were you when you started singing?
I started singing at home when I was about 4 or 5, but I was very shy, so I was singing in the closet or in the back of the house when everybody else was up in the front. So I always had it. I didn't share it with the world until I was about 16.
So you sang in the closet from age 4 to age 16.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time. So tell me what happened between then and now. You sang before in front of Kirk Franklin, Mary, Kim Burrell. So that closet experience is gone, I would imagine.
It is.
So what changed?
Well, my relationship with God changed. My singing for me is ministry. And ministry, God gives us ministry to share with the world, not to keep to ourselves. And I love what I do. It's a passion. Back then, I really didn't understand what ministry was, and I really didn't understand what my voice was. I'm the baby of 11 children. So out of 11, I was the only one that could sing, so I didn't really understand how to embrace it at that time.
So you're not originally from Macon, am I correct? Are you from Buffalo? So I hear there was someone in Buffalo that really inspired you as far as your singing career is concerned. Expound on that for us.
My godmom, her name is Dr. Iris Stevenson. She's a minister of music. She lives in Crenshaw, in Los Angeles right now, but she works at Crenshaw High School with the youth department there. And she heard me singing in the back of the choir. Somehow she just picked out my voice and she said, well, you remind me a lot of yourself and I need for you to lead a song. And that's when everybody knew that I could sing.
So she just picked you out of the group of 30, 35, 40 people. That's kind of interesting. Now your family, you do have a large family. I think it's 11 of you guys. Now, the interesting thing I found, audience, that you're the only one out of the 11 that actually sings. Am I correct?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess I really have no idea. I'm the last one, and I guess God was like, well, let me give it to somebody.
No musicians, no drummers, nothing like that?
I do have a brother that plays the drums, my brother David. I have 7 brothers, and he's my favorite, actually.
Okay. So how long? And you said this on live TV.
They know.
They know already?
Yeah.
So what brought you to Macon?
My mom moved us here when we were I was 16. My mother and my father moved myself and my younger brother, and my youngest brother that's over me, and I had another sister and 2 brothers that followed my mother.
So Macon is home now. Maybe. For now.
I live here.
Maybe. Okay. So let's talk about this. A lot of times, gospel artists have a rich family history of either a parent who dressed them and took them to church every Sunday, had a father who was on the deacon's ministry, who had an auntie who was a deaconess. So your family, you have a rich history of ministers in your family. Tell us about that.
My father, who was deceased, he was an elder. He was a preacher. My mom was an evangelist. She still is. She's the mother of the church that she goes to now at Ash Street. My grandmother was also an evangelist, and that's basically it out of my family. But my mother and father, they did raise us, birth us and raise us in the church.
So when you moved to Macon, are you involved in any musical groups, choirs, community organizations, community choirs, or what have you? Or are you just totally a solo artist?
I was. When I first moved here, I used to sing with the Young Corliers, and that was it. And I sung with David Little in the Vision.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I know the audience wants to know, and I want to know. How long ago was that? Well, first, how old are you? I know y'all want to know. So tell us, how old are you?
I got friends out there, they know.
And that's one question that you really shouldn't ask a young lady how old she is, but we're going to go ahead and do it today, and we're on camera, so
How old are you?
Well, she's a young lady, so your career is still young. We'll leave it at that. That's a good way of ending that. So you don't sing. So you don't sing with any groups anymore. You're just mostly doing solo projects right now.
Yes.
Okay. And I was actually privileged to see you in concert maybe about a month ago at the Beulah Land Bible Church here in Macon, Georgia, and it really was an outstanding experience. So you've been doing these concerts. Is it on a weekly basis, or you do several a month in the city?
Normally it's either sometimes I'm asked to do one, or I'll pray, and God will lead me to do one. I was asked by a couple of people to do that one, I guess because I was just coming off of Sunday Best.
Right.
And so it depends on what's going on. I do have some things coming up in the near future, but nothing here in the area.
Okay. Let me ask this question. What has been your, as an artist, what has been your biggest struggle as far as moving yourself forward in the music industry?
I would say...
and there may be several.
Well, one struggle for me, I love Macon, and I've been here, I'm 35. And
I knew we were going to get to it eventually.
well, anyway, one struggle for me has been that I have found it, just being, in all honesty, that it seems that the vehicles that are available for you to get where you need to be in Macon are kind of limited.
Right.
As far as what you, if you want to pursue something in gospel as far as a career. We can minister all day long here, and Macon is so full of talent. When I came here, I couldn't believe there's so many musicians, so many singers. It was so many choirs and groups and solo artists. But it seems like unless they leave Macon, we congregate and we fellowship and we support here, but I don't know what it is that it seems like it's almost like you got to get out of Macon to get out of Macon.
You know what? That's an interesting point that you make. A lot of times we tend to live our life in a bubble. And sometimes you got to think a little broader than what your immediate surroundings are. And it's okay to think that way. You can love home, but sometimes things are just for a season. And sometimes your season may be over in your immediate area, and it's time to look at other areas.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So basically, you just told us that Macon is not going to be your home.
No, it's not. I love Macon. I love y'all, and I'll always. I haven't gone anywhere,
Right.
but I know that God has a move for me, and there's some things lined up for me soon.
Right.
And I still have family and dear friends here, so it's always going to be home.
Right.
But I just won't live here.
I want to know about your relationship with your God, because I know that's important to you.
It's very important to me. First of all, God is everything to me. The Bible does say acknowledge Him with all your heart, and I every morning, He's my breakfast every morning. Before I get up out of my bed and do anything, I spend that quality, intimate time with Him. The Word says to seek Him early while He may be found. So before I start getting phone calls, text messages, knocks on the door, before my mother comes in, where everything is still and quiet, and I can hear Him and He can hear me without any interruptions. So I have a relationship with Him, personal. Love Him so much more than anything. More than anything, I owe Him. I owe Him my life, so... Yeah. Wow.
And I can see the passion on your face when you're actually talking about the Lord. I want to ask this question. I know a lot of us, even some people in the audience, if we really be transparent with ourselves, even though we may be successful, there are some things that we struggle with. There are some situations that we were caught up in or sent to found ourselves in that weren't pleasant. So is there anything that, I know you probably had some struggles in your life, and how has those struggles helped encourage you to continue doing what you're doing now?
In my situation, I found that most of the times that I've gone through struggles, I was in a place where I was alone in the struggle. So the way that it encouraged me was this is one reason why I have this relationship with God the way that I do. At the time, I felt that I needed somebody. I felt that I wanted to reach out to and touch somebody so bad. I wished with all my heart that someone would just answer the phone or someone would come to my aid or to my rescue. And God didn't allow that to happen. And so what I learned was really, really, really how to lean and depend and trust in God solely and completely. I learned that He is my best friend. It taught me how to pray because I couldn't get in touch with anybody to pray for me.
Right.
So it taught me how to be able to pray and go into warfare on my own behalf. You know, we're so used to calling our pastors and our friends and our brothers and sisters in Christ and saying, I need you, I'm going through this, can you pray with me? God didn't allow that to happen. And so it just birthed a strength in me and tenacity. And this is why I have the strength and I have the desire and the passion to be able to do what I need to do and minister the way that God has given it to me.
You know, some time ago, someone told me that pain is the gift that no one ever wants, but we can't learn without pain. I think that every difficult situation that we may experience as individuals, there is a learning curve. If we be honest with ourselves, and audience, if you be honest with yourself, anytime you experience anything that's tragic or anything that is harmful to you, there is a lesson to be learned. So a lot of times, and I like your comment, a lot of times we go through situations in order to take us to another level in our lives. Right. And I totally agree with that. And I think your statement was really encouraging to someone who may be watching on today. A lot of times, young people, people younger than you and I, will see us and say, okay, he or she is here, they must not have any struggles. But when I tell you that is the biggest from the truth. So it's important for people watching to see that even people who are on your level still have had struggles. And that's encouraging to somebody who may have gone through what you may be going through or experiencing it now, to know that trouble doesn't last always.
Right.
Are you overwhelmed with vitamins? Do you have so many supplements that you have actually forgotten why you take some of them? Are you not getting the results you want from your new supplement program? Hi, at Scott's Pharmacy, we are extensively trained in vitamins, minerals, and herbal products. We are also experts at medications, various disease states, and drug-nutrient interactions. So no matter what your issues, blood pressure, diabetes to hair loss, we can help. Stop by Scott's Pharmacy for a consultation and start looking better, feeling better, and being better.
When it's all over, I shall wear a crown. I shall wear a crown. When it's all over, oh yes I will. When it's all over, I shall see his face. I shall see his face. When it's all over, when it's all over down here, when it's all over, I'm gonna put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over. Whoa, I'm gonna put on my robe, and I'm gonna tell the story. Oh, how the Lord brought me over. Oh, I'm gonna put on my robe and tell the story how I made it over. Oh, soon as I get home, soon as I get home, I get home. Anybody waiting on him to come? Soon as I get home. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, when your loved one gets sick, you want the best possible care for them. When we found out our baby Chloe had a tumor, our first and only thought was Critter Fixer. The doctors, the staff, they're wonderful. I mean, she received the best possible care before and after the surgery. The technology is state of the art, and they're always happy to see her. We know she's in good hands. It's no wonder their 2 locations were voted the best veterinary hospitals in Peach and Houston County. Critter Fixer, where family comes first.
What made you want to audition for Sunday Best? When I heard there was a child from Macon on the show, I said, Lord. So what made you want to audition?
Be honest with you, I did not want to audition. I auditioned back in 2000 and something, 2000 and I think it was 8. And it was an extremely long experience. I was there for like 16 hours. And back then it was like a 4 or 5 part audition process that you had to go through. And I made it through all of them except for when I got to the very last one, I wasn't good enough for them. So I was like, if they probably would have cut me on the first one, I might have would have been a little bit more okay with it. But after going through all these different processes and autumn hours, and it was cold and raining, and
where was the audition? In Atlanta or where?
they were in Atlanta both times.
Okay.
But my pastor, my friend and my manager, he kept telling me, go audition, go audition, go audition, go audition. And I was like, I don't want to. And I was being disobedient. And then I had other people, and then my pastor told me, she said, go and audition. And I said, I don't want to do that. I've been through that already.
Right.
And she said, well, it's not about what you want. She said, you go this time and see what God does. She said, it's meant for you to get this exposure. You have to go back this time.
Right.
So between my manager, my friend, my pastor, and a couple of other people, I was like, well, I believe God is trying to get my attention to go ahead and do this.
So you were selected out of about how many people actually auditioned?
There was, I believe they said it was like tens of thousands. It was quite like maybe 8,000.
So that's quite an honor.
It is an honor. It is an honor.
So from their auditions, getting the call that you're accepted, then what's the next step? Rehearsals, I assume?
Oh, well, once they call you and you go, it's extremely taxing. Meetings, orientations, rehearsals, immediate. Literally from, had to be downstairs at the lobby at the hotel every morning between 6 and 6:30, sometimes maybe 5:30 in the morning. And
So they actually had you guys up there staying for an extended period of time and then weren't able to come
2
back
weeks.
home? Okay.
2 weeks. We were there
Wow.
for 2 weeks, and we got back to the hotel probably anywhere, I would say the earliest would be like 12:30. So it was an all day humping. And
Well, how do you train your voice to be to accommodate all of that? I know you may have gotten hoarse, tired, or are there any things that they taught you as far as vocal coaching to allow your voice to handle that type of strenuous activity?
some things were just common knowledge, you know, even here, even before I went to that experience.
She
I know-
says common knowledge. You know, she's a singer. I don't know how
No,
many of
I'm
you are
just saying.
singers that common knowledge. Okay. Tell us some of
No.
this common knowledge.
I'm just saying, you know, like even here before I went to and had the Sunday Best experience, if there's ever a time that I have to do a concert or have to sing anywhere, I'm extremely limited on how much I talk,
Right.
especially on the phone. I'm even limited as to what I'll do even vocally if I'm in rehearsal for the concert. You know, there's certain things that you should and should not eat or
Right.
consume. Some things I didn't know, so they're
Right.
not just necessarily common knowledge
Right.
to me. You know, I didn't know things that I love, like eggs. Oh my God, I'm like a weasel.
Eggs?
Yeah, I love eggs so
Oh,
much.
wow.
But eggs, butter, cheese, anything.
Wait a minute,
dairy.
that's in about everything that we cook on a daily basis, I would think. Eggs,
Yeah.
butter, and cheese.
Cheese, yeah. Any dairy products, no yogurt, no milk. And those are things that I love.
Really?
And I didn't know that I couldn't eat my eggs and my butter and my cheese and, you know,
Wait, any singers in the audience today?
yeah.
No eggs, no butter, no cheese. Everybody's getting out the choir tomorrow.
Right.
Listen, so tell me about your experience with Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin is awesome. I believe if he was to invite us to his home and say, come spend the night, or if he has some hidden cameras, he would always be the same, always. He's just very, very super down to earth. Is very funny, of course, sense of humor.
Now, what about your competitors? What was the atmosphere like that whole week?
Awesome.
They
It was awesome.
They weren't trying to make you eat some of the wrong things so you would go hoarse, and when he hit that A flat or that C sharp when you needed to hit it.
No.
So did you develop some relationships with some of the other contestants?
Yes, very much. They were awesome. Everybody was just so down to earth. Nobody saw this or went in with the mindset that this is competition. Once we all sat down and talked, I think that all of us had the same thing in mind as far as this can be a platform that God uses to help promote the ministry that he's given me, or to help get some exposure, or whatever the case may be. But other than that, it wasn't about competition. I completely embraced everybody else's ministry. We all completely embraced everybody, you know, each other's. It was a lot of praying, a lot of worship, a lot of laughing, a lot of bonding. And to this day, we all still keep in touch, phone, Facebook. And a matter of fact, I'm going to Pennsylvania next week to sing with Roosevelt Griffin, Monica Smith, Isaiah Freeman.
Okay.
And then next month, I'll be going to Atlanta with Carlington Roberts and Felicia Russell and a couple of others. So we're still doing some things together outside of Sunday Best. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I do want to ask a couple specific questions about specific contestants. Now, how was the relationship? Was it Mother Sue? What was
Mama
it?
Sue.
Mama Sue. Yeah, Lord, Mama Sue. How was Mama Sue?
I love Mama Sue. I love Mama Sue. Mama Sue was a storyteller. She had us all gathered around like we was like y'all. We was all gathered around, and she is very animated. She tells stories to children and stuff like that, and so, you know, we were her children. And but they're very, very inspiring, very motivating. You know, the first time that she told us the story, we were in the green room, and when she got finished with the story, we had some laying prostrate and some just crying and some in worship, but nobody could say anything.
Right.
Everybody's anointed to do something. And I never knew that you could be anointed to just tell a story
Right.
the way that Mama Sue was. She's highly anointed in even her vocal ability, and we embrace her as mom.
Yeah. And see, these are the type of things that we need to show. I think we see on Sunday Best, we see you guys get up there and you minister, or you get up there and perform, however people perceive it, but we don't see what happens behind the scenes. We don't see the bonding, and I think a lot of us think that there's some type of competitive air of competition there, and there's a pulling of hair and gnashing of teeth and all this type of stuff, but this really puts it out there that there is a family type situation that occurs behind the scenes, and that's really good amongst the contestants. Now, what's on the horizon for you? And I want to say this, I was watching the show on the night that they named the final 10. They named the 9, and then the 10 spot was just sitting idle, and it was you and I think 2 other individuals for that 10th spot. And however the outcome came, I was on Twitter, and Donald Lawrence sent a tweet and said, I'm going to paraphrase, I don't know what the judges are seeing, but I see a singer when I know a singer, and that Latrice Smith is a singer. So that was high accolades to you to have something, and give her a hand for that. For something like that to come from Donald Lawrence, who is an award-winning producer, stellar award winner, and many, many more accolades. So in light of all of that, what's on the horizon for you?
I am currently in the process of getting my own material. I'm going into the studio. God willing, I will have something complete product to represent Latrice and who she is in the body of Christ vocally. Should have that complete by December.
So we want to thank you for coming, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching on today. We appreciate you coming out and participating in the audience on today. You've been watching Perspectives, where you're not only informed, but inspired. Listen, check out our website, perspectivetv.com. Follow me on Facebook, and I'm a Twitterer. Follow me on Twitter. We'll see you next time.